All right. So, Marcy and Eric, this is part 2 for tomorrow's test. Test is on 11/7. Marcy and Eric are saving money to buy Christmas presents for their siblings. Marcy starts with $2 and earns $10 per week. Ding, 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 ding. Per tells you something. Eric makes $15 each. That's another one. Please lower your voices. Each week, pet sitting for a neighbor. But he owes his mom $8. That's a tricky thing right there. So let's first talk about Marcy started with 2. So let's say Marcy started with $2. Do I need to put an X with it? No, because that's not a per. This is your per. Plus, she earns $10 per week. That's for Marcy. The one thing that we hadn't seen yet, you've seen it before, but not anytime recent, is for Eric. Eric makes $15 each week, so yes, that's the slope. But then it said he owed his mom $8, which means he was in the negative $8. Then he started earning 15. So then you would have to match it up with whatever answer you see here. So we need to make sure that the 2 is with the plus 10 and the 15, X is with the negative 8. Yeah, so it looks like it's A. Very good.
Good job, bro.
The line graphed on the line graphed on the grid represents the first 2 equations in a system of linear equations. Graph the second line if the graph of the second equation in the system passes through these 2 points. Notice this is only one line, but does it tell you it's infinite many solutions? No. It tells you that there's only one line graph. You need to graph the other one by plotting these 2 points. So go to 1, -4, and then go to 5, up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The only thing is, if your line is crooked or if you don't draw your line straight enough, you might not know what the slope is. So I'm going to suggest actually finding that slope just so we make sure we get that one correct. Okay? So the slope is delta y over delta x. So from -4 to 8. How did -4 jump all the way to an 8? Add 12. And then from 1 to 5, we added 4. So 12 over 4, this is pretty good for remembering how to find the rate. 12 divided by 4 is 3. So that means from here we go up 1, 2, 3 over 1. Up 1, 2, 3 over 1. Up 1, 2, 3 over 1. So would this be infinite many solutions once we graph that other one?
Yeah.
No, infinite many solutions means it's only looking like one line. This is 2 lines. They obviously cross. Where at? The solution, is it 4, 5? Is it 4 up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? No. Is it 3 up 2? Yep, that looks like that's probably the good solution. If it was no solution, that would mean that they were parallel lines. That's not true. If it was infinite, that means it looks like one line. So B is the answer for that one. Number 12, you should be able to do that one since we already talked about how to estimate a solution if it's not really on here. So I hear some people saying it's B. Thank you for helping. However, make sure it's B because they might just be talking some craziness, okay? Number 13, we talked about this one before on the Blended Learning Day. A candy company sells cases of chocolate bars. The company has fixed costs of $30,000. A fixed cost, does it say $30,000 each something or monthly? No, $30,000 is not a slope because it's a fixed cost. If each case, here we go, each case of chocolate bars costs an additional $5 to make. I'm sorry, and each case. The company sells each case for $10. The graph of the system of linear equations representing this company's cost and revenue for manufacturing and selling X cases is shown below. Hey, they told us all of this stuff, but look, they gave us a graph and they wrote the equations for it. We are happy. How many cases of chocolate bars will this company need to sell in order for the revenue, cost and revenue to be equal? Basically, we're looking for a solution. If it's no solution, that means the lines will be parallel. The lines are not parallel because the slopes are not the same. It's not going to be this one. You're probably going to have to look for a long time in here because 30,000 plus 5x. But this is why we should be happy because we got multiple choice. Okay?
When I grow up.
If you start looking through here, look, 30,000, is this even getting close to 30,000? No, so I'm just going to jump to like some random, I'm sorry, remember second window helps me jump to, I'm just going to go to like 450 and see am I close? Ooh, I'm still not close.
Go to 1 million.
All right, so second window, I'm going to jump to now like 800 and see if I'm close.
Still not close.
Still not close. I wonder, is that supposed to be 30,000?
500,000.
Second window, I'm going to go to 5,000, see if that's closer. Oh, here we go. I'm still not going to go to go through 1,000 buttons. I'm going to go to 3,500. You see how that could take a long time? If we had multiple choice, we would be oh so happy. I would be very happy. Sorry, I put 400, not 4,000.
Oh my God.
So it has to be somewhere in the 5,000 range. Just be happy that you have multiple choice to help you so you don't have to keep jumping all around like crazy people. So this one I didn't finish because I don't even have a multiple choice, and I'm not going to keep doing that for this review. That's timed here. Kevin has $4 in quarters and dimes. Notice what type of coins do we have? Quarters and dimes. He has 22 coins in all. Notice they're giving us the equation. What do Q and D represent? Q represents, hold on, be careful, because I need you to understand the difference when you get that multiple choice, okay? Yes, Q is quarters, but it is representing the number of quarters. D is dimes, but it represents the number of dimes. Because listen, there is a multiple choice answer that's going to say the value of quarters, and that is not what you're going to choose. It's going to say value of dimes. No. Value means how much it's worth, 25 cents. The number of means like how many quarters do you have? Count your quarters. So Q and D represent the number of, not the value. Keep that in mind tomorrow when you're taking the test. This is another one that people get very confused about, which we talked about on the assessment yesterday, is finding the variables. What will be the appropriate assignment of variables? Remember, when we talk about naming the variables, that means if I was making a graph, what would I actually put as my x's? What are my x's called? What are the y's called? Let's read it. Nancy likes to bowl and wants to compare the total cost to find the bowling alley that offers the better deal. She has 2 bowling alleys to consider. Cypress Alley charges $10 per shoe rental and $1 per game. Remember when we see the word per? How much is it per game?
$1.
$1 per game. So what is X representing?
$1 per.
No, X is not a number, so be careful. X is, how much is it per game?
$1.
This one's $1 per game. This is $2 per game. So what does X represent?
$1 per game.
Number of games. X has nothing to do with how much. It has to do with what is X. Down here, would you write $1 per game? No, you would write number of games.
Why is the charge?
And it's not the total cost per game, because I think that's going to be an answer on here. If it says total cost of games, you're not going to choose that one because it's not the total.
No, you
This
will
is
not.
each game. I'm sorry, number of games. And then the Y would actually be the total cost when we add it up. The Y would be the total cost. Total cost to do what? To bowl. Nobody keeps, after each game you don't pay some more, then you play another game, then you pay some more, then another game, then you pay some more. No, I just want to know when I leave here, what's my total? I don't have time to keep paying every time we finish a game. I want to know what is the total cost to bowl once I leave the place, okay? And this equation, we know this one has a 2x, but how much is it for shoes? $4 for shoes for Jersey Lanes, and this one is $10 for shoes for that one. Because it now asks you the information about what is the most appropriate system. What are the equations that go with it? Down here it says, after changing their prices, the 2 bowling alleys mentioned above charge their customers according to the following functions, where N represents the number of games bowled and C represents the total cost. According to the new functions, for how many games would the cost to bowl be the same at either alley? When they talk about things being the same, that means, once again, how are you going to find your solution? If they give you that, how would you find a solution? Because some people will say, well, Miss Ward, it's not Y equals form.
Oh, Miss Ward.
It is, actually. They just use a different letter. So this one, you need to put both of these in your, well, one goes in the Y1, one goes in the Y2. And they want to know, what is the solution? They only want to know, 1 game is that, or 2 games is that, the solution. 4 plus 2, 50. Uh-oh. 4 plus 250. So you could do that before you leave. And then the last two, 18 and 19, we've been practicing those forever. You could look at my other YouTube video that I have that show you how to solve them.
Ooh, I'm-
All right? And that's 10 minutes. That's what